Thanks for joining us for our Chamber Connection podcast. Thanks to our friends at Speakeasy, we are here for the next 52 weeks, bringing you guests from around our community, elected officials, business owners, folks doing great work here in Macomb County. So sit back, take a listen, and we hope you'll join us every week for our Chamber Connection. Hi, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Chamber Connection. My name is Stacy Ziarko. I'm the president and CEO of the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're here today at our Speakeasy podcast studios here in Sterling Heights. And if there's one thing you've all known that I love, and you've heard me talk about this a lot, is food. So I get to spend the next bit of time talking with some friends who've opened up a really cool new restaurant in Downtown Utica. Kevin and Mike, thank you for joining me today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, you guys are Macomb County guys, local guys. Tell me a little bit about yourselves first.
So I guess I'll go first. I was born and raised in Macomb County, started in Roseville, just down the street from the Roseville Theater Building. My grandfather's been an attorney, and his office actually used to be the Roseville Theater Building. Moved to St. Clair Shores, and then moved out to the suburbs, as everyone does, to Clinton Township. And have started a business, multiple businesses here with my partners. And still live here today in Macomb Township. So
Awesome.
I grew up in Clinton Township with an Italian-American family, so food is very
Big
important.
family?
I have 22 first cousins.
All right.
Yeah, big family. And, so grew up in industry, working in industry, worked at a place called Friar Tuck's growing up until I was like 24. and then got married, and my wife and I live in Macomb as well. And me and Kevin actually live in the same subdivision. Got two boys, and food and travel is a big part of our lives, and we like to bring what we found back to the suburbs.
So this new restaurant, new concept, it's called Host. It's in downtown Utica. You opened, late September?
Yeah, we did our soft opening September 23rd.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners what it is and the concept and how you guys got there.
I'll let Michael elaborate.
So, like I said, grew up in the industry, then got married, graduated college, and got a job, but always had my heart with the hospitality industry. And a friend from high school was a chef, starting to do pop-up dinners in downtown Pontiac. And he wanted to start a food truck, and I'm like, oh, this is a good opportunity to get back into that industry. So I helped put together this food truck, and we did pop-up dinners and rallies downtown, 16 people, one table, 5-course prefix menu. And we just brought people from all corners of Metro Detroit to one table. And I just really enjoyed putting together those evenings. Also, collaborating with other small business in downtown Detroit. A lot of the established business owners in downtown were very generous with providing space for us to host our dinners or give us pointers. And took a little hiatus again, got married and had 2 kids. And finally, through our partnership in real estate and with our partner Jeremy, we were in the position to finally open up a space that could restart that vision. And hence, that's how Host came together.
And you took a space that had been vacant for a while in downtown, right in the heart of downtown Utica, and not only decided to do kind of pop-up restaurants, but reimagined that space. I mean, that space is stunning.
Thank
you know, talk a little bit about like what you all decided to do in order to make that space what it is today.
I mean, I think the vision really started with Michael. It's funny, he brought this idea to me. We were sitting in downtown Rochester at Gus O'Connor's, and we had a couple beers, as we do.
As every good idea stems from a night like that.
And he brought this vision to me, and part of it, Michael's vigor for hospitality and kind of entertaining people, I think dovetailed well with an experience we had. We were fortunate enough to go out to Scottsdale, Arizona, and spend some time with our real estate brokerage. And we met a gentleman who owns one of the largest private real estate brokerages in the country. And he brought us to his space, which is dead in the center of an industrial complex. He completely reimagined the space for his office, where he basically took an industrial building, turned it into a real estate office, a restaurant during the day, a bar at night, and a real estate school. So I think that kind of helped really get the juices flowing when we were sitting there speaking with him, kind of seeing his vision unfold, because we do business basically face to face. So most of our business is driven by referral. It's driven by us getting down and being true experts in our field. So I think that kind of started what Michael's vision was. And from a design perspective, I mean, it was mostly this guy over here. I mean, I'm thankful to be involved and to be a part of it, but a lot of it, the design was Michael's just brain coming together and the different experiences that he's had helping to form what that space looks like today. So
for somebody that doesn't know, what is a pop-up restaurant? What does it mean to, kind of, what your concept is and your vision?
So our mission and vision in that space specifically for the chefs is we want chefs to come in for 1 to 3 month periods and showcase their talent. So we're reaching out to sous chefs, food truck chefs, private chefs, current restaurateurs that want to try a different concept before they launch it, to come there and use our kitchen as their stage to do that in hopes of garnishing maybe an investor or further marketing themselves the way that they want, so that we have better food options in Macomb County. Because I'm sure, as many people see, Hall Road is driven by fast food chain and large corporate businesses, and the solo entrepreneur restaurateur can't afford those spots.
Struggles.
So we like to eat good food. We like to go downtown with our wives and to Royal Oak, Birmingham, but now with kids, that's more difficult and expensive.
We need something close by.
yeah.
So we hope that our space is a catalyst to improve the food community out this way.
So as someone that's been in the restaurant industry for a long time, if you are a chef that, is looking for this kind of, and gets this kind of exposure, what does it mean for them? Like, what are the opportunities that can come from them, having a good 3 months there and making a name for themselves?
Well, it's downtown Utica specifically, there's the Hogs Hollow building that's vacant, which we hope
we want somebody to come in there.
One of our chefs would have the opportunity to maybe reopen that space. Plus, you obviously know there's a gap between the historical downtown and the ballpark. Yep. So as development continues to bridge that gap, we hope that also draws other food entrepreneurs that way, because we believe people, like, when there's a good downtown driven by food and drink, that like rises all tides or shifts, whatever that phrase is, and ultimately will increase property values and help the city of Utica and Macomb entirely.
I say all the time, I tell Mayor Gus in Utica this, is that he has in Utica what other communities strive to create, right? You have a downtown.
Correct.
People want to be able to walk to a baseball game and then go have dinner or have some cocktails. That's something we all desire, is that walkability. Are you seeing that too, with people just kind of walk, being able to walk around?
Yeah, I mean, we and that was our goal, is that we wouldn't just be, we have a good amount of great restaurants in Macomb County, but they're unfortunately located in shopping plazas. So you go there and then you go home. Well, we hope that someone will come to our restaurant and then walk across the street to grab a beer or a glass of wine, whatever their fancy is for the evening, so they can continue to patronize downtown Utica for a whole evening as opposed to just for a couple hours.
So you've got different chefs in there now. Who's there now?
We got Chef Devante and Chef Kay. They are from downtown Detroit. They're private chefs, catering chefs. Chef Devante helped open up the Monarch Club in downtown, which is on top of the Element Hotel. And Chef Kay does a lot of celebrity chefing for local artists, as well as he was heavy into the nightlife chefing as well.
Okay. And who's next?
Next is Chef Mark Kamai. He helped open up She-Wolf downtown. So, and he's originally from this area.
Okay.
So we want to entice the talent that grew up in Macomb area that are now downtown to come back to the suburbs, because we deserve good food too.
I love that idea. Okay, let's also be honest, there's some really cool cocktails there too, right?
Yeah, we got Jared Cassis. He's our beverage director. he had a spot in Ferndale called Conserva, and he's like a librarian when it comes to cocktails. Guy could run circles.
You guys do some really cool, unique stuff. I think they're really cool.
We just want the whole experience to be magical, that you feel taken care of, and that you're cared for. We don't want you just to get in and out of the door. That's not our vision for that space. We have a communal table in the middle of our restaurant, which is a new concept around here, and people are slowly warming up to it. But that table's vision is like when we had our pop-up dinners, that you could come and sit next to people you don't know, but through sitting at that same table and hopefully enjoying your experience, you start to talk to that person and that person.
I'm the perfect person to sit at a communal table because I will make friends anywhere.
Yeah.
I know you're both surprised by that.
Yeah.
So it's not just a restaurant. This is the other cool part, the co-working space.
Most definitely.
Talk about that. Tell us about that.
Well, I think part of the vision for the whole building is really community involvement and development of a downtown area. So all three of us have lived in Macomb County our whole lives. Probably not going to leave Macomb County, honestly.
Mark Hackle will love to hear that.
But one thing that lacks, in my personal opinion, is a true downtown area. I have to, like Michael alluded to, I have to take my wife, my 2 children, soon to be 3, and go to Rochester, Royal Oak, which, I mean, that's a lot, right? It's not just a, hey, we can pop over here, it's a 5-minute drive, we can go walk and have a good time. So part of the reason that gave me goosebumps when Michael brought this plan forth is the shot at being able to change the landscape of a whole area.
Yeah.
So our building's large, right? It's, I think, what do we got? Is it 9,700
97 square feet, yeah.
So it's a large building.
Sure.
To be just a restaurant would be tough, in my opinion. I think that's those spots that have been there before had tried, and I think just a single service, one trick pony, if you will, is kind of tough with that amount of space. So we have a membership driven portion of our restaurant that essentially is a co-work space. So we have 6 private offices, 7 if you count ours with the spiral staircase, a co-working, so a daily drop-in area, dedicated desks, kind of like, I say co-work and people's eyes cross. If you've heard of WeWork, it's essentially like that upstairs, but it's a membership portion of our restaurant. So you get, if you're a member with us, you get discounts on food and beverage, and you can bring your clients. So if our restaurant is full, which it just so happens to be,
yes, it is.
You can bring your clients and have a private dinner upstairs.
What a great idea.
It's a great event space. So we have a ton of open space in the front area of our building, which is our kind of daily drop-in and dedicated desk space. And then we also have a conference room that could handle an off-site, for a small company. If you want to come have a cool off-site and have some good food and drink, we can accommodate that as well. So.
And I think in our post-pandemic world, right, we know people aren't going necessarily to large offices if they work downtown or in Southfield. They're getting that opportunity to work remotely.
Right.
But as I hated working from my house during the pandemic, I am a social person. So this kind of gives people the benefit of all of that. If they don't have to drive necessarily to an office, but yet they get to leave their house, they get to be social. Are you seeing that's a really popular trend?
Michael is there on a daily basis. I'm there 3-4 days a week. We get people who organically have found out about our building and what we're doing upstairs and have actively reached out to us to do that with little to no effort on our part. So I think absolutely there's a pining for and I love my kids, I love my wife, but when I'm on a phone call...
Let me put that out there first.
Right, yeah. My wife's Italian. If I don't say that, I might get in trouble.
That was a really good, you covered yourself well.
But when you're on a conference call, you're trying to talk to a big client, and the kids are yelling because they're having a good time, and the dog's barking because the Amazon delivery man is there. It's tough, and obviously people understand, but I think it's a good escape if you want to get out and just go work for a few hours even. So we've made it where I think it's an affordable alternative to buying a physical office. because in the course of our real estate business, we've been extremely fortunate to grow. We've grown our team, we've grown in sales every single year, and we've done the analysis of, okay, having a physical space makes sense. We'd like to be able to have a landing spot for our team members as we continue to bring them on. But it's little to no options, and the options that are out there are $2,000, $2,500 a month,
Right.
and you're in a strip center, which that's not who we are as people, right? We want to give you a cool experience. I want you to come to my office, and I want you to see a reflection of me and my business and how I do things. And I think our building really is that. So that was the hard part, where we wanted to have something like that. And I make the joke, we bought this building. Michael is living out his dream in a restaurant just to get a 12 by 12 office, so.
It's such a unique concept is what I think makes it really special. Like, I've been bragging about you guys for a couple weeks now because I think it's really different. I like food. I am like, I like to try new things. I like to go to new places, but I'm also a homebody. Like, I want to do this down the street from my house too,
Sure.
right? Like, so you've made this possible. But there's also kind of a tide changing in downtown Utica too, where, I think of some of your neighbors, I am a big fan of your neighbors across the street, the wine bar, Vino and Vibes.
Yeah.
But like between the two of you, you guys are really changing the perception down there. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think talking to tables, I went on the assumption that, Utica was an older community.
Yeah.
People have been there for generations, but I've come to find out that there's quite a good amount of young families there that want this. And actually, it's where they say thank you for bringing this to Utica.
Yeah.
This is what we needed, and it's humbling, it's exciting, and we're just glad to have a small part, and hopefully, what is the not revival, but
No, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to look at it is, I think everybody knew downtown Utica was there, right? We knew that there have been established businesses for a long time. We've got a great baseball stadium, which I really do feel like is a gem in the county. It's a very unique establishment. But like, you are a part of like making it come alive. I think that's a good thing to be.
Yeah, we I say, and I hope this becomes the slogan for Utica, is it's the gateway between the east side and the west side.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I just feel like it's dead nut center on 59, and we can draw people from the Rochesters, the Troys, and further west, and obviously all the way to Lake St. Clair in the other direction. And that's what's great about downtown Utica. We have Mount Clemens, which is a great, vibrant city in itself, which is
They've also done a huge
having
revitalization
huge
there.
resurgence, but it's to one side. So we like that Utica is kind of in the middle.
At the bookends.
Yeah.
So, as two young entrepreneurs, how does it feel to see your dream become a reality? Because I know this didn't happen overnight. This wasn't something that you guys decided to do, and then you're like, oh, we're going to open a restaurant and co-working space, and here we go, and it's a success.
I can't believe how fast it's gone. And it's a lot of the credit, again, belongs in that seat, because, we closed on this building this year in March. And now
6 months later,
End of
you
April,
open.
not March. End of April.
End of April.
5 months later.
He would throw out timelines, and I know how we've been very good friends and business partners for a decade now. So I know when he gets something on his mind, he's going to get it done.
Sure.
And he was throwing out these dates, and I'm like, I know you're going to be able to, I think you're going to be able to do it, but everyone else is looking at him like he's crazy. And it went, not seamlessly, but I cannot believe how fast the transition was, really, from when we bought it with the different decor that was in there. I don't even recognize the front. Looking from the back to the front of the building, there was cardboard paper over the door and big black curtains, and like
It was dark. That's what I always remember. It was dark.
Yes. So to now see it today, it's been a blur, and I don't think it's really even hit me yet, because the co-work space isn't necessarily up and running yet, but it hasn't certainly hit me. And Michael, I don't know,
I think once that co-work space opens up, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're excited, because we're gonna once it's full throttle,
Yeah.
we hope to have 60 to 70 regular people up there, which I think will be great for downtown Utica, because now you have a more captive audience. Because right now, there's only one restaurant that's open before 3 p.m. besides us. And we hope that changes where there's more restaurants open, so there's more
I will
options.
tell you, as someone that looks for lunch places for meetings or things going on, it is hard now to find a lunch spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
And forget lunch on a Monday, because that
Right.
is really hard.
Yeah.
We're open on
You
Monday.
are. Those are good things.
Well, we're going to be like, it's not just, you don't have to come for lunch to be downstairs. Like, if you just want to grab a coffee and work
Sure.
at a spot, come work, because we intentionally made it that way, where we have plugs in every direction,
Yeah.
so that no one is without a plug to plug in their laptop and drink a coffee.
So those are things that are thoughtful. You failed to mention as part of the membership that people get free coffee and beer.
Yes, responsibly.
Responsibly. Well, too much coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
It's not free, it's included.
Included. There
yes.
we go. Sorry, it's included in your membership.
Right.
But too much caffeine can be just as bad as
Yeah.
too much beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is what's the long-term hope? Like, what do you guys, we're almost there. We're almost to the 100% opening. Do you want more locations? Do you want, chefs to be beating down your door to be there? What are you hoping for?
I just want people to come
You
here.
want a nap first, is what you've had a hell of a year. You need a nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just want people to come in there and be like, wow, we just felt cared for the entire time. Like, no one goes in, like, we didn't have to go into this industry. The restaurant industry is a high failure rate. We did this because we want to, and it's not really for financial gain. It's to see people break bread over the table, especially in a world right now where you feel like you can't have a proper conversation without it being hostile.
Right.
We feel like if someone has a nice cocktail and a good bite to eat, that can kind of be like an olive branch. That's our table at the end of our shift. We have that communal table, and we typically all sit at it. And we have a drink, and I just looked back the other day. One of our servers took a photo, and we have people. We have the chefs from Detroit. We have a couple girls that are out in K-Pac. We have a girl from Oxford. We have people from West Bloomfield. I'm from the suburbs. So we have all corners of Metro Detroit meeting at that table. And I'm learning about experiences from Chef K and Chef Devante that as a guy in the suburbs I never knew about. And it's just been, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what we want. It's not to become millionaires and make buku bucks. I think if you take care of people, the financial success will just be there. And ultimately, we just want a more vibrant area for families to gather and do life together.
I want to see that downtown grow. That's my biggest thing. That's my goal.
Me too.
Is I want to see we've been to a couple different council meetings and things that have happened in downtown Utica, and they were talking through a situation, and someone brought up there's between 2,000 and 4,000 people at that ballpark every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the baseball season.
Yeah.
Which it's I think there's a two-sided conversation there where why aren't they coming down, to support, but you also need to give them something to get them down there.
Yeah.
So I think what we've put there is a start, but we need more. Our reach needs to go outside of our building's walls. And I think upstairs can be a catalyst for that, because ideally we'd like to see, Michael said 60, 70 people there. I'd like to see them grow out of our space, build, grow, go open something. It doesn't even need to be in Utica. Go open something, go build your business. That's really what I think we'd like to see from not only it's the same thing with the chefs. Go open a restaurant, because we selfishly want better restaurants.
That's what people have said to me and asked me, like, what if you get a chef that just kills it? Like, you just want to keep them?
Yeah.
Do you just want to keep them instead and basically end your concept? No, that's not the vision behind this place. It's not to hoard inside our building. It's for everything to go outside of our building.
Because the goal is you want more people to be successful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Somebody said one time, there was a restaurateur, and he said, somebody opened another restaurant across the street from him.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, aren't you angry?" And he said, "No, because people aren't coming to my restaurant 7 days a week.
Right.
So yeah, I let them go. If there's somebody across the street, because I want my town to be it was a downtown scenario." And he said, "I want them to be successful too." And he's
Yeah.
like, because no one's coming to one place 7 days a week.
Right.
So you hope that, those guys that come in or the chefs that come in, that they're just as successful and grow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just, sounds hippie-ish, but I want all people to do well. And maybe it doesn't always make the best business sense for me to say that, but ultimately that's our vision.
The chamber looks at things as we keep trying to build a community. And I'm listening to you both as you are trying to do that too. And, the world needs more community builders like the two of you that want just better. They want a better place for your kids, for your families, and then for the communities that you serve.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for being here today. Thanks for joining me. I love food. I love new restaurants. So you will see me every time you have somebody new and maybe even in between. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you being here. Best of success to host in downtown Utica. And thanks for listening today, and we'll see you the next time on The Chamber Connection. Thanks for tuning in to The Chamber Connection. Be sure to check out information on the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce website, our Facebook page, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We look forward to you connecting with us and tuning in next week.